Welcome everyone, and I will call this meeting to order.
President and CEO of the ACA, Sandra Watson.
Here.
ACA co-chair, president and owner of the Arizona Cardinals, Michael Bidwell.
Present.
CEO of Astor Health Management Strategic Advisors, Tony Astora.
Here.
Partner of Illumina Venture, Mara Aspinall.
Present.
President of ASU, Dr. Michael Crow. President of NAU, Dr. Cruz Rivera. CEO of Horizon Strategies, Jen Daniels.
Here.
President of Avnet, Phil Gallagher. President of U of A, Dr. Suresh Garamella.
Here.
Division President of Fry's Food Stores, Monica Garnez. Chairman, Workforce Arizona Council, Mark Gaspers.
Here.
CEO of Mayo Clinic, Dr. Richard Gray. President and CEO of Plaza Company, Sharon Harper. President, League of Arizona Cities and Towns, Mayor of Chandler, Kevin Hartke.
Here.
President and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, Pam Kahali. President of Mojave Community College, representing the Arizona Community College Coordinating Council, Dr. Stacy Klippenstein.
Here.
CEO and co-founder of Tucson Tamale, Sherry Martin. CEO and co-founder of Keep, Clayton Mask.
Here.
CEO and founder of Valor Global, Simmer Mayo.
Here.
House of Representatives Speaker Steve Montenegro. President of the Arizona County Supervisors Association and Yuma Supervisor Lynn Pancrazzi. Senate President Warren Peterson. CEO of USI Insurance Services, Wick Pilcher. CEO of Cognite, Girish Rishi. Arizona Board of Regents, Executive Director Chad Sampson.
Here.
President and CEO of the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Chairman of the Rural Business Development Advisory Council, Danny Seiden. Managing Partner of Arizona Venture Capital and Teal Capital, Jack Selby.
Present.
Former Regional President of PNC Bank, Kathleen Walker.
Great, thank you so much. I know there's a lot to get to today, and before we jump in, I just want to take a moment to recognize a couple of one departing board member, and welcome two new members. So first of all, Kathleen Walker, thank you so much for your service. Kathleen joined the board in 2022 and has been an active and engaged presence ever since, and has more than 3 decades of banking industry experience, which brought really valuable insight to our efforts and helped drive our economic momentum forward. So just so grateful for your service to the board and to Arizona. Wish you all the best, and hopefully this won't be the last we see of you. And then joining the board, Dr. Suresh Garamella, president of University of Arizona. And so very, very happy to have you here. U of A obviously is really important to our efforts, driving innovation across the state, and an important, plays a critical role in our success. So welcome. And Supervisor Lynn Pancrazzi of Yuma County, she's not here, but she and I go way back. We served together in the legislature, and now she's Yuma County Supervisor and chair of the president of the County Supervisors Association of Arizona. So brings a lot of extensive experience in state government and deep understanding of Southern Arizona communities. So we're glad to have her as well. Welcome. And with that, we are in 2025, and I think the year has started with incredible promise. If you tuned into my State of the State, you heard me outline the Arizona promise about advancing opportunity, freedom, and security for all Arizonans. And I think this board has a really incredible role in doing that. My fiscal year 2026 executive budget delivers on this promise and this commitment. I made investments in initiatives that will continue our strong economic growth, lower costs for Arizonans, keep our communities safe, increase security at the border, and protect Arizonans' fundamental freedoms. Some of the priorities that you'll see outlined in my budget include $529 million in new general fund investments in K-12 schools, more than $380 million invested in our state universities, $191 million to expand access to affordable childcare. And this is an initiative that has really been helped led by the business community. So really grateful to Danny and your participation in that. And hopefully we can get some innovative things through that will expand access to childcare for Arizonans, which is important to them and their families, but also for employers across the state. So we also are proposing investment of nearly $135 million to keep housing affordable and $18 million in new workforce community and community college investments. I think all of those things are critical to the work we're doing here. And specific to the Commerce Authority and economic development, my budget also includes a $10 million one-time deposit from the general fund to the Arizona Competes Fund and restores annual deposits going forward, and also includes a $5 million one-time deposit from the general fund to the Major Events Fund, which provides grants to local organizing committees to support the competitive bid process and operation of major events, which are we're really good at and bring a lot of interest and development to the state. So also starting off the year, I'm sure most of you heard the exciting announcement in the semiconductor industry. In January, the US Department of Commerce announced that Arizona had been selected as the site for the co-located NSTC prototyping and NAP MP advanced packaging piloting facility. Do not ask me what those acronyms are for because I can't remember. But this is, I cannot overstate what a game changer this is for Arizona. We've already been on the map around semiconductors, and this really cements that. It is clear that we're not just a part of America's semiconductor renaissance, we are leading it. This facility is Arizona's first national laboratory and really is the result of months of hard work from ACA and Arizona State University. And I know that Dr. Crow really wanted to be here, but he had a huge role in helping us get this across the finish line through this competitive selection process. And, you know, this announcement came right after the Peach Bowl, and where ASU lost to Texas, but as I like to say, we beat Texas when it matters. So I was really proud to work with Sandra and the team, as well as many of our conductors in the industry to get this big win for Arizona. And again, cannot overstate how impactful this is going to be. We are setting the standard for innovation in semiconductors, and this really just solidifies our leadership in this key industry. This win really points to our continued strong economic momentum. We've become a top global destination for technology and innovation, which is translating to good paying jobs and unprecedented economic opportunities for Arizonans. And so just really want to thank the members here for your partnership in these endeavors. So looking forward to another great year as we head into 2025. And with that, I will turn over to Co-Chair Bidwell.
Thank you, Governor. I want to echo what you said about our state's growing momentum and congratulate you on an incredible start to the year. I think back 2 years ago, we hosted a Super Bowl 57 here, and you had just been elected governor, and you were sitting in your first meetings with us at the ACA, recruiting companies to coming to Arizona. And, you know, I said at the time you were drinking water from a fire hydrant, and probably feels like it hasn't stopped since. But, you know, Arizona's momentum continues to grow, and it's just incredible to see how far we've come. Also want to recognize a couple of folks who I think are running late, Speaker Steve Montenegro and Senate President Warren Peterson. President Peterson actually asked me to provide the keynote address to the opening of our state Senate last month. And I was truly honored. But what I want to tell you now mirrors what I said in that keynote address. We're riding We Arizona, and I think of us as Team Arizona, whether you are just moving as one of the new companies to Arizona, or you've been here for decades, like most of the people around this table. We're Team Arizona, and I look at it as we're competing against 49 other states, and we're competing against international areas. And that's something when we look and convene as a board and work as an organization, we're focused on that. And when you look at the last 10 years, we're outpacing nearly every state in terms of job growth, in particular, good job growth. That's high paying, high wage jobs with benefits. We didn't have this 15 or 20 years ago before the ACA came together. And we've attracted so many different things, but one of the things that was kind of an unexpected thing, I think we thought of it is what was going to happen, but for helping people out of poverty, we've made more progress here in Arizona than any other state since 2013. We've attracted the largest foreign direct investment in American history, and that record and its TSMC is probably going to stand for decades because of the $65 billion investment that happened right here. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There have been so many other smaller projects. There's $1 billion here, $1 billion there, $5 billion here. There's so many big projects that are happening in Arizona. Great jobs for Arizonans and for our future workforce. An important thing to understand is how we do it. And it's much different than the rest of the states that we compete with. We don't do backroom deals here. Our financial programs are transparent. They're prescribed by law that's been passed by the legislature and signed into law by the governor and prior governors. All this dates back over a decade, about 15 years. And this allows our Arizona's true value proposition to shine, namely our low-cost business environment, exceptional talent, high-quality infrastructure, and our quality of life here. People want to come to Arizona, live in Arizona, retire, work, get their education. So I think back to 2011 when we reduced. It was the Arizona legislature with a different governor on a different side of the political aisle, saw the vision, and I've sat with governors of both parties. The board has people from different, including Senate leadership and House leadership, different backgrounds from around the state. And it's truly something that we all ought to rally around. The sort of forward-thinking policy that was set back in 2011 has set us on a path, and the sky has been the limit as long as we continue to keep our eye on the future. And as I said to the senators last month, Arizona is no longer a teenager. We're now the 14th most populated state. The greater Phoenix area is the 12th largest television market in the United States. The city of Phoenix is the 5th most populated municipality in the United States. The eyes of the world seem to be on Arizona every 4 years when we're going through, it seems like a lot of big national decisions are made through Arizona as well. So I think it's important for us as we think about our big, we're an adult now, we've got to have public policy that matches our future and what our future dreams are. And those industries that we're attracting, we've got to continue to update that public policy. And what we all realize is that the Arizona Commerce Authority is an incredible tool. And in my opinion, it's the best commerce department in the United States. And I think if you were just to measure it on its outcomes, I think objectively that can be said. Clearly, we're definitely in the top 3, top 2. I think it's the number 1. But there's more work to be done. We need to take a long view. And I think our new board members, I'd encourage you to take a long view. We're looking 30, 20, 10 years down the road for sure. And so I'm grateful to our business community and our elected officials for coming together to be a part of this team. And I look forward to a really productive year ahead. We made some big decisions at our last meeting about focusing on corporate headquarters. I think that's something Arizona really wants to focus on, and we're going to continue to work hard. And I know that Sandra and her team are doing a fantastic job. So I'll turn it back to you Governor. Thank you for giving me a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Michael. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 18th, 2024?
So moved. Second.
All right,
Second.
all in favor? Any opposed? All right, so ordered. Sandra, can you give us an update on the progress?
Yes, thank you so much, Governor, and thank you, Michael. And I also too want to congratulate our new board members. Thank you so much for joining us. And Kathleen, it has just been amazing working with you. And we wish you all the success, and please know we'll continue to call on you when needed. But we've got a lot to update the board on, so I'm going to quickly jump into results to date. As you can see on this chart, we've already announced 56 projects that have either landed new companies in our state or companies that have expanded in our state. Those 56 companies represent 11,346 jobs. 86,000 is the average wage for all of those jobs, and $9.5 billion in capital investment. And I would note that that capital investment is actually double the amount that we had in capital investment last year. So we're seeing tremendous momentum this year as well. You'll see kind of just the industry areas in which we have landed projects and the geographic area. So again, we're seeing projects from all over the country and international, and you'll hear more in the pipeline update where we are with some of these geographic locations, but also across the board in these industry sectors. So great news, we're ahead of schedule and we're excited for the next 6 months of this fiscal year. This is the fun part of the meeting. We get to recognize some of those amazing companies that have made a decision this past quarter. And we've got 11 companies here with us. Not all of them could join us, but 11 companies were able to join us. So what I'd like to do is when I call your name, please stand up so we could recognize you. And what I would love is for the rest of us to hold our applause until after we get through all 11, so we can congratulate them as a group. So let's get started with Blue Palmers, represented by Jacqueline Fouts. Director of Sustainable Innovation. Blue Palmers is building a recycled plastics production facility in Buckeye, which will support sustainable packaging, manufacturing, and create over 60 new jobs. Thank you for being here. Camelback Linen Service, represented by Randall Falcon, President. The hotel and healthcare linen cleaning service company will establish new servicing facilities in Phoenix, creating over 100 new jobs. Thank you. We have Chlorum Solutions, represented by Vice President Dave Jacobs. Chlorum Solutions will establish a new chemical production facility in Casa Grande, representing over $70 million in capital investment and creating over 30 jobs. Thank you. Cognite, as you all know, the CEO of Cognite serves on our board. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here today, but we have representing Cognite, CFO Jeff Coulter. The industrial software company will relocate their global headquarters to Tempe from Norway, creating 140 new jobs. So thank you for that. Exceptional Healthcare, represented by CEO and owner Saeed Maboumbi. Thank you. Close, yeah. Thank you. Exceptional Healthcare recently expanded its presence in rural Arizona, offering emergency care and inpatient services in facilities in Yuma, Bullhead City, Eloy, and creating over 360 new healthcare jobs. Thank you. We have Gulfstream here today, represented by Vice President of the Service Center, Joe Rivera. The aviation leader recently celebrated the grand opening of its customer support center in Mesa, representing over $130 million in capital investment and supporting 350 new jobs. Thank you. Howmet Aerospace, represented by Vice President and General Manager for North America, Luke Van Dugen. A global aerospace and defense leader, Howmet Aerospace established a new aerospace fastening system coating facility in Tucson, supporting over 30 skilled new jobs. Thank you. We have JX Advanced Metals, president, representing, who is here with us today, Masago Kawabura. Did I get that right? Excellent. The semiconductor supplier recently celebrated the grand opening of its Sputtering Targets manufacturing facility in Mesa, expanding its presence in Arizona and creating skilled manufacturing jobs. Thank you. We have Me Health, represented by founder and CEO Kelvin Sumuga. Me Health is an AI-powered health tech company, relocated its headquarters from London to Phoenix, representing a multi-million-dollar capital investment and creating over 100 new jobs. And I am so sorry, they weren't able to make it here. They let us know at the last minute, but we're excited that they're here in Arizona. Nestle, representing the senior manager, Trent Van Dusen. Nestle recently celebrated the grand opening of its coffee creamer manufacturing facility and distribution center in Glendale, representing over $675 million in capital investment and supporting 300 new jobs. And I was able to speak at their grand opening, and it was an exceptional facility, so congratulations. Pure Wafer, who is represented by President and CEO Mark Borowitz. The semiconductor supplier will expand its silicon wafer reclamation facility in Prescott, representing over $357 million in capital investment and supporting over 100 new jobs. Thank you. And lastly, Rarig Pacific, represented by Vice President of Operations Kevin Jackman. The supply chain and environmental waste industry leader opened its manufacturing facility in Buckeye last fall, supporting over 100 new companies. Thanks for being here. So let's give them all a round of applause. We are incredibly grateful for your the decision to expand in our state, capital investment and creating new jobs for Arizonans across our state. So thanks again for being here. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ryan Ruiz, our Executive Vice President of Business Development, to provide an update on our pipeline.
Awesome. Governor Hobbs.
Oh. I'll get you that slide. There you go.
Governor Hobbs, Co-Chair Bidwell, Sandra, esteemed members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to present our update on our pipeline and highlight some significant milestones that we've achieved so far. Since our last meeting, the ACA has added 115 new projects to the pipeline, expanding our active portfolio to 479 active projects. This expansion, it's really eclipsing a milestone because it is the largest pipeline that we've held to date, and it adds 5 consecutive quarters where we've extended our pipeline as well. We continue to see growth in our targeted sectors. So collectively, this pipeline represents 130,000 projected new jobs with over $106 billion in potential investment. As our project count continues to grow, the manufacturing category, which spans multiple industries, remains the dominant project type. It accounts for 336 of our projects and of roughly 81% of our job potential. Since the last time we've met, we've continued to see increases in key industries, including the aerospace and defense sector, where we've seen 114% increase in total projects and 118% increase in potential jobs. Bioscience and healthcare projects have also seen remarkable growth in our pipeline. We've seen investment growing by 265% and potential jobs increasing by 126%. We now also have 40 logistics projects in our pipeline, contributing to 5,200 jobs. That's 114% increase since the last time that we all came together here. And along with potential investment increase of 122%. That really does show the kind of closing of our ecosystem and making it full ecosystem for a lot of our manufacturers. And lastly, headquarter project types have grown by 113%, creating over 10,000 potential jobs. We do anticipate to continue seeing growth in this category as we're actively executing on a HQ pipeline development initiative that we are reaching out to these companies. And what it is this kind of highly customized strategy continues to elevate the state's unique business advantages and strengthen our relationships with some of the largest companies in the nation. While attraction projects continue to represent the largest share of our pipeline, we do continue to work closely with existing Arizona-based companies, some of them you see here today, that supports statewide expansion efforts as well. When it comes to our lead source of our projects, California remains our largest contributing geography domestically, while our international projects have reached an all-time high, now totaling 153 projects, representing 42,000 potential jobs and just under $30 billion in potential investment, really furthering our position as a global hub for manufacturing. Regarding our mega projects, we've added 7 mega projects to our pipeline since our last meeting. That brings our total mega project count to 48 in the pipeline. That represents 70,000 potential jobs and a little over $81 billion in potential investment. So in closing, I do want to sincerely thank everybody here for really your efforts and commitment and your support. Arizona continues to be a global leader in attracting companies, and we're really excited for Arizona in the future and what our opportunities hold in front of us. And I think with your continued support, these milestones are significant, but we can hit even greater milestones. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan. And I do want to just recognize your leadership as well as the entire team at the ACA and specifically the business development team for all the great work that you continue to do. Having the largest pipeline since the creation of the ACA back in 2011 is a significant milestone, and we're just going to keep that momentum going. So again, thank you. I've got a few other updates before we go into executive session. Science Foundation Arizona. This is an exciting initiative. I know that I have reported on this to you in my board updates, but I also wanted to just share with you that we have officially relaunched Science Foundation Arizona. You'll see the companies that are now members of Science Foundation Arizona, the prominent semiconductor leaders in our state. We are going to start with the semiconductor industry, and then we're going to move into automotive and battery and some of these other technology areas. But because of all of the activity that we are seeing here in Arizona in the semiconductor industry, we felt that that would be a very strong opportunity for us to begin to leverage the investments that have been made in our state, not only from the private sector, but from our federal partners, as well as our universities and the state of Arizona. The intent of Science Foundation Arizona is really to help leverage R&D activity in our state. And if all of you remember, the Science Foundation was created back in 2007, and its intent was to work very closely with our 3 universities to ensure that we were building up corporate relationships, identifying and developing opportunities for further research, and then using that as leverage to continue to enhance the work that our 3 universities are doing. So we are excited. Welcome, President Peterson. Come on in. I think we have a seat for you right here. I'm just going through my update. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. So more news to come on Science Foundation Arizona. We're, as I said, very excited. We officially launched this in this quarter. We're having our first official board meeting in a couple of weeks, and we'll be back to report some additional information, but we hope that the universities continue to play a very, very strong role in the work that we do. The next thing I wanted to just give you a quick update again, I've updated you in our board message, but the Arizona Venture Alliance, this is a brand new initiative for us at the ACA. And as you know, we've got great partners throughout the state that are really focused on helping to build the entrepreneurial ecosystem and attract more venture capital to our state and work to develop accelerators and incubators and mentoring programs for our technology, early stage technology companies. And over an 18-month period, we brought together all of the organizations throughout Arizona that have participated in advancing our innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem. And many of those companies we have partnered with, we've either provided some funding to, or we've established some programming together. And by bringing all of these groups together, there's about 22 of them to date, and we'll be adding more as we go. And it's really intended to begin to create a rallying point for all of these organizations and really focus on building a strategic opportunity similar to what we did with the ACA. When we created the ACA, we put some very aggressive goals out there, and we and our community partners sort of rallied around them. This is very similar. We decided by bringing all these groups together that we needed to identify some very aggressive goals that the Alliance could help support along with the resources that we have. And so the goals that that the ACA and our partners have established is supporting 10 unicorns in Arizona. This is Arizona startups valued at $1 billion. So our goal in the next couple of years is to support at least 10 of those unicorns. We're also focused on relocating startups to our state. We've done a great job of relocating large, mature companies, and we feel that we have an opportunity to really begin to develop a stronger ecosystem by not only supporting Arizona startups, but bringing in new startups that are looking to scale their operations. And our goal is to relocate more than 100 startups to Arizona, again, in the next couple of years. And then we also, as a team, decided that we needed a very aggressive goal around venture capital. And we want to catalyze at least $1 billion in private investment for Arizona startups. So we have continued working. I know Clayt has offered to provide assistance and done an exceptional job with the company that he represents. But this community has really come together, and we are so excited about working with our partners to advance the Venture Alliance. And I see our partners Plug and Play in the back of the room there, and they're very instrumental in this as well. So I'm excited about where we can take this. This is really just the beginning, and we'll be back to you with another report. And then lastly, I wanted to highlight in public session Future 48. Again, we've talked a lot about Future 48 over the last few years, but I was fortunate enough to join the governor yesterday, was it yesterday morning, for a new Future 48 that was just launched by the governor and Maricopa Community College at the Chandler Gilbert Community College in Mesa. So very excited about the work that we're doing with the Future 48 network. This is the 6th Future 48 that we've established. As you remember, the very first one was Drive 48 in Casa Grande, but we have now launched 6 throughout the state, and we are on the cusp of announcing another one, which will be our 7th very, very shortly. So more to announce there, but this is where industry works together with the state and community colleges to ensure that not only are we working together with our community college partners, but industry is really at the table sharing with us what not only today's workforce needs are, but what that future workforce is going to look like so that we can really begin training. And this facility at the Chandler Gilbert location was incredible. It had all these aircraft, it had engines, it had a lot of equipment there, and our students are going to be able to use those for hands-on training. So we're very excited about that. So with that, Governor, that concludes the public portion of my update, and I do have more to report, but I will do that in executive session.
Great, thank you so much. Can I get a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed?